Hey everyone, it's Sally again, doing some more Magic Mike moments. And today I'm very thrilled to be interviewing Gwen Lippard, who's originally from Montana and now residing in San Diego. So welcome, Gwen.
Hey, Sally, good to see you.
So good to see your smiling face again. You're always smiley and cheery. Let me give you a little bit of an intro. So Gwen is a relationship clearing expert, and as a mentor, speaker, and workshop leader, she helps those experiencing breakups to get more confidence, freedom, and joy. Whoa, who doesn't want that when they go through a breakup? Wow, very
Yeah.
interesting. So tell us a little bit about your journey, about how you came to be, a relationship clearing expert.
Well, the journey began with after years of verbally whipping me. My former husband did it for real, and he said that he'd keep coming down on me harder and harder until I stopped doing stupid stuff. And the stupid thing I did was put more laundry in with the pants that he whipped me with. They were wet, and it was they came around and hit me on the eye. And um, anybody that's ever been hit by something wet, wet clothing, it was I didn't know what stupid thing I would do. So I fled my Montana home that day. And um, the one time that I did look back and go, oh, maybe I should go back, because so many people do. I mean, an abused woman goes back on average 7 times before she can truly escape. Yeah, and so I was able to escape then, and I had a really good friend tell me, you know, you you really like those um, shit sandwiches. Can I say shit here? I
Totally.
guess I just did.
Talking to me, baby. Oh, wow, 7 times. Hang on. You've hit me hard with this, like from the outset. Whoa, is that
Yeah,
right? And so you
yeah.
kept going back.
I didn't, but most people that are abused do. And my abuse was more verbal and emotional than it was physical. There was one other instance that was physical, but it just it was like I've got to get out of here. And luckily, I ended up having some really good friends um, house me in Southern California, because I fled my Montana home and went to Southern California, and they housed me and supported me. And then when I was going, oh, maybe I should, he's being so kind and nice and he really wants to make it work, um, they said, yeah, right, you're just going back to shit sandwiches. And it was like, no, I don't want to, I don't want that anymore. And it was enough to shock me out of listening to his pretty words, and his desire to have a story about, hey, we had this terrible breakup and then we came back together and we made it work out. And yeah, I mean, it would have been a great story. However, he wasn't changing. He had been raging for forever. So I began a journey of self-discovery, and I was under such a deep fog. I'd completely lost my identity, to the point where my family called me Bob Wynn, because his name was Bob. And um, I still, to this day, I know that there was a lot good there. However, there was a lot of rage. And I take responsibility for what I bring into my life. So it's like, where was that rage hiding in me, that I needed him as an outlet to um, to release that. And so we could go a lot further back, but that's a story for another time. So I discovered some really amazing techniques. In fact, I just saw on Facebook a memory of me doing a workshop back in 2012, and it was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing workshops for quite a while. I took a break for a couple years, but it's something that's been in my wheelhouse for a long time, and so getting back into it, it's been really amazing to be able to inspire people. And
Hmm. Keep straightening up a little bit.
in the last about three, what was that?
Oh, the internet just was going a bit funny. Yeah, so sorry. So just dating back, when did this
Oh, okay.
story? Was it a long time ago? Like how many years are we talking?
I missed that. Oh, how many years ago? When was I married? It was the day that I fled was July 31st, 2009. So,
Oh,
and I'd been married for almost 10 years.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, yeah. So timeline there for you. It was, yeah. I'd love to forget the day, and yet it's emblazoned upon my brain. July 31st, 2009 was the day I fled my Montana home. And
Yeah.
after years of verbally whipping me, he finally did it for real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and very grateful that I wasn't one of the average people that goes back 7 times. Um, and you know, like I said, I was fortunate that I had support and somebody that knew what they were looking at,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, over this past 9 years, you must have come across so many challenges amongst your journey, as you were mentioning just briefly before, the self discovery and then, going through this lost identity. So, if you want to share some of the challenges or hurdles you've overcome to get to where you are now.
Yeah. So one of the biggest hurdles was actually bringing another person similar to him into my life, thinking that I had, I'd done all of this self-development,
Yeah.
and I, thought that I, had him totally out of my life. And then I had a business partner. So luckily this time, not my heart, my finances and my time invested in someone who was also very controlling. And I had met this energy practitioner prior to knowing him, and I started working with her again, and she did this relationship clearing, and I was going, well, and you do only one person at a time. And so I'm going, do I need to clear my former husband, or should I clear my business partner? Because, things are just not going well there.
Yeah.
And so I decided to clear the business partner. And the next day he started listening to me. It was way too far gone to actually get us back on track and for the business to succeed. But it showed me the power of that clearing. And so I tweaked it and made it my own, and started using it with clients, and saw lots of really great results. And so now that's, primarily what I do. Is I'm um, the relationship clearing expert.
Mm.
And it's really rewarding to help people get clear of someone that their heart is just, even though it's not good.
Mm. And so it cut out a little bit there, but do you work with mainly women, or do you work with women and men, or is it
I
just?
work with women and men. In fact, typically when I advertise an event just for women, I get more men than women.
Oh, wow. Because I mean, the divorce stats nowadays, and that's just divorce and sort of like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody's being affected here, and yeah.
yeah. Well, and some of the clients that have really been able to help are those that are co-parenting. And I'm not a parent myself, so I can't help with so much with that. And I mean, you know a lot about that.
Yeah.
However, being able to help with the energy between them and get that clear so that they actually can start having better communication and a much more ease in the co-parenting,
Yeah.
that's been something that I really see a lot in the women that I've helped. And that's, I mean, that helps more than just the person sitting in front of me or that on the phone with me. It helps them, it helps their children and their former partner as well, and then anybody else that's around that circle, further out. So being able to help just one person actually makes a ripple effect out into the world, which is part of my passion.
Oh, I just love it. I love it because at the end of the day, it's awful when a relationship breaks down, but when children are involved, and I'm there myself, it just breaks my heart. And so
Yeah,
focus has to come back onto the children, and let the other fighting go elsewhere. Like, you know,
yeah,
really, and as I said, 1 in 2, it's such a high incidence of breakups, and that's just of marriages other than,
yeah,
it's really important that get the focus right. And so, the work that you do is critical to help, moving forward, and to also get over the past in a quicker way, clear.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I don't want people to, that if they come to me when they first come out, or they've done some work and they're still not getting results, at that point we can get them out of the fog way quicker. I mean, I was in a fog for at least a year and a half. It took me almost 5 years um, before I really felt like I could move on into a new, relationship that was a long-term relationship. And I mean, it took me 7 years before I even started really talking about it and feeling like I could help others with this, because it was a lot. And I have a client now that a year ago, she sent me just maybe a month ago or so, she sent me a text saying that a year ago she was legitimately suicidal because of her divorce, and she spent so much time and effort, and then they finally conceived, and then her situation was similar to mine, a very controlling individual as her partner, and now she co-parents, and she said, I'm happier now than I've ever been. And that's one of my true passions is helping people create a life happier than they've ever been.
That's just awesome, because 5-7 years is a very long time out of your life,
Yeah, tell me about it.
the quicker you can get through the shit, the better. And that's what you're
Absolutely. Support.
a shit shoveler. I love it. Just get it out of the way so you can get to life.
Definitely.
So, the biggest issue, do you think? What's the biggest issue facing people, coming out of the relationships? And
Well, the biggest issue from my standpoint is that they don't realize that they're still connected to that person, that no matter what they do, in the world, to disconnect through, the legal means, and thinking that they've moved on, they can do lots of talk therapy and any number of things. But if they don't clear up the energy between them, if they don't actually get that cleared, it's still in their field, it's still draining them. I mean, literally, I find anchors in people and hooks that are feeding the other person, and it's totally unconscious, and it's something that as humans, we connect. That's what we do. And when we're with somebody close, and there's like karma between us, or children, or just a really, really intense relationship, an intense connection, it stays hooked into us and attached to us, and we have contracts and agreements that we make with this person, and we have karma, and so all these things need to be dealt with, as well as then reviving you, getting you to, so you can regain your confidence, so you can revive your heart and be able to love again. It's a process.
yeah, totally. I mean, particularly when you have children with someone, there is that very strong connection, and that
Oh yeah.
goes away in many ways, and it's dealing with it in a manageable and an amicable and a happy way for you. I just love that you can clear that crap. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And make it
it's absolutely clearable.
yeah,
Yes.
it's just so great. I mean, gosh, I wished I'd known that a number of years ago. I would have helped a lot, saved a lot of heartache, because life goes on, and it's sad that what's happened. But as I was saying, 5 or 7 years of your life to be putting up with, like, your self stuff, and
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and attracting it in again,
yeah,
not getting it clear. So when attracting it in again, and even someone like yourself, that you've gone through all of this stuff, you may still have hooks and cords attached to this person, and contracts and agreements that are in your energetic sphere that
okay.
will actually ease your moving on out of the interview.
Yeah, sorry, that last bit cut out again. But yeah, did you just say, just there's, like, I know I've still got stuff to do. I have
Yeah.
spent so much money on therapy and whatever,
Yeah.
trying to clear stuff so that I can move forward. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's
And that's one of the ah, there's so much stuff. Yes, and that's one of the things. It's like, yeah, talk therapy is great, but at you get to a point where you've already talked it out. And when I work with people, we don't go into story. I'll take a little bit of the story just to get a
yeah,
barometer of where they're at.
yeah,
However, I don't need that to clear it.
yeah,
We don't need the story to clear it. And the story, the more times you tell it, the more you're in it, rather than just dealing with what it is. And I my tool belt, I really have more like a tool room than a tool belt, because I've spent so much time learning all different kinds of technologies, between very ethical NLP, hypnotherapy. I do a quantum jumping that I do that gets us resources from other us's that have already moved on, that I absolutely love. People really love that one. Anything that you want to do, you can actually go and get the resources from that, because we have an infinity of other dimensions to draw upon, and that, including the clearing allows me to help people not just go from divorce to done with divorce, but to creating life happier than they even imagine is possible, and recreate their life, get their identity back, and discover their purpose, and then really move out into creating a difference in the world if that's what they desire.
Yeah, so basically taking people that sort of damaged goods in many ways and just sort of,
Yeah.
shining them up again and
Well, we're all perfect whether we're damaged or not. You know, that's one of the things that I had a client that I had to let go because she got to a point where she couldn't imagine that her soul, that she would agree to what she had experienced. And for her, it was the most horrific thing possible. And one of the things that I've learned about working with people that have been through trauma is you can't compare. So one person's trauma compared to another person's trauma, it may seem like on the outside that, well, that was way worse. I mean, if you went through prison camp, that's way worse than if somebody strangled you. However, the individual that's experiencing it, it's just as intense. And so you can't compare.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where, and this is crucial in the people with, and that they're happy to be guided in imagery. Though I do work with people that are auditory and kinesthetic as well, that they accept that, sure, your personality didn't choose to have, wouldn't choose what happened in your situation.
Yep.
And her personality absolutely didn't choose what happened in her situation. However, her soul and her former spouse's soul made an agreement. And they made a contract before they came here to have these experiences that were horrific and painful and super traumatic. And she wasn't ready to go there. It's like, I would never, ever choose to have this. Yeah. And yet our soul chooses it for a reason that we don't know until we're past it. And so helping people get past it quickly so that they can discover what their purpose is. Like, her purpose is probably to help other women that have experienced such kind of trauma. And help them in a legal sense, and be able to really know where they're coming from, and be an advocate and a shining warrior for them. And at this point, she doesn't see that. So I couldn't go any further with her because of that. And it was sad because there's so much there. And so when you take the responsibility and say, yeah, me as a person, my personality, I'd never choose that. And yet my soul chose that so that I could help others. Because the people that I work with are leaders, and they're people that are here with the message, and they want to make an impact on the world, and they want to make things better for their life, for their person, for their people, and they want to work on themselves. And and I know that when I was there visiting you, I kept up my 365 days of how do I love myself today.
Yeah.
And that's actually, I've just recently realized how much, visiting you and everyone there in Australia, and daily finding ways to love myself has allowed my receptivity, how much more I am capable of receiving. Because when you're damaged, when you're traumatized, you shut off and you close yourself off because you're afraid of being hurt again. And in order to be open and receptive and be able to surrender and vulnerable to love again, and to receive your life mission and move forward in it, you have to be receptive, and being able to love yourself is a really big key.
Yeah, huge. And let's just share for others that don't know about it, but Gwen has been doing 365 days, every single day, recording for the year. How do I love myself? And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I'm doing it with Facebook Live too. So I'm doing it live and raw every day, and you never know what I'm going to look like or where I'm going to be. And right now it's kittens. Today was day 95, so I'm almost at 100 days, and so about a third of the way through. Yeah.
But that's life, isn't it? Real, raw, genuine.
Yeah.
Everything's how it
Exactly.
was, you know?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. I think today's the first day I've put on makeup in a very, very long time, and I just a little bit.
you're always looking hot to me, Gwenny. Anyway, you've just got that shiny personality and the love just exudes out of you. Absolutely.
Oh.
For you. So getting back to, I think you were saying probably the biggest issue facing people you're dealing with is still being connected to the other person. So can you
Yes.
recommend sort of 3 sort of action steps to start getting out of that sort of
Yeah, certainly.
dilemma or situation?
Sure, sure. Yeah. So the energy techniques that I use are like cutting cords. So that's something you can search online. There's a lot of different people out there doing it. One of the people I recommend is Anastasia Chopelas, the scientific healer, and she has videos on YouTube, and I'll have some at some point.
Yeah.
At this point, she's already got them out there. So cutting cords, and there's a technique where you can imagine the contracts and agreements that you have between you and let them dissolve and be cleared. And then also there's a way of um, clearing the karma.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I do all of those in the first month of the program, the 90-day program that I have with people. And you can find these online. I do have actually do have a video where I did that live. I do it in my live events, and I have some of those recorded. I can make that up on my Facebook page,
Oh, that
and
just cut out at the.
so you can be walked through it, and all you have to do is watch the video or listen to an audio. I can
Did
take
you
the
say
audio out of
it's
it,
on your Facebook page?
so you'd be able to do that. What's that?
Did you say that's on your Facebook page? It cut out again. Just.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's yeah. Mercury is retrograde, and Mercury works with us.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let everyone know that you're running a 90-day program. Is that right? And you can do it
Yeah,
anywhere in the world.
absolutely. Yeah, because I work over the phone or Zoom or Skype. At this point, pretty much just the phone. But I'm happy to look at people as well. They can watch me take them down
I know
into relaxation.
when you were here,
What's
you
that?
were working with overseas, and
Yeah,
just
absolutely. Just
just
figuring out the timing.
yeah, exactly. It's just yeah. Look, that's awesome because you could help people right now have a
Yeah.
more joy and happiness in their life so much quicker. And I can only highly recommend do that. Totally.
Yeah. It's you can wait 7 years before you're really
Cut
moved on.
the cord, clear the
Mhm.
karma, dissolve the contracts, and move
Yep,
forward. What was then,
absolutely.
and then this is now. So
Yes. In fact,
everything.
I'll go ahead and I'll put that up, so it'll be in the videos on my Facebook page. And I just use my personal Facebook page, which is Gwen Leopard. That's spelled GWEN, and then the last name is LEPARD. It's like the big cat without the O. Yeah.
Well, after this, I'll post it and I'll just tag you
Okay.
so that
Okay. Cool.
can follow you that way because I really highly recommend if you're coming out of a relationship and you want to move on, get it all done because you want to get
Yeah.
all your life back as soon as possible. It just,
Yes.
life's all about being happy, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. We're not here to get things done. We're here to experience the journey.
So,
And, however that, sometimes it's things that, and then we know how pleasant things really can be.
yeah,
And so, yeah, helping people get through the unpleasant, and we have to go through the uncomfortable spaces. There's so many people that want to avoid that, and believe me, I've done it. I medicated for years and medicated, not with medication.
yeah, yeah.
That was back before marijuana was legal, and now I don't even touch it. I haven't in many many years. It's not even this millennium at all. Um, but I medicated for a long time because I didn't want to go through those uncomfortable periods. And it transformation takes those uncomfortable periods, and if you have somebody that can help you through them and ease them, it and I have unlimited text with my clients so that if they're going through something, they can text me and I either clear something for them or we chit chat back and forth. So get the support you need. It's and whether it's me or whether it's someone else, if you're going through a breakup or a separation or divorce, getting support is just, it's crucial. And your friends are tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
And they're not, and they may not have the resources that you need to move on either. I mean, it's great to have your friends, absolutely, but get professional help, somebody that can really help you.
Yeah, cut the cord, clear the contracts, get rid of the karma. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest thing was having to look in the mirror, face myself, and own own it.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else, it's me, baby. And
yes, that's fabulous.
It's confronting, but it's it's so worthwhile. It's just,
it really is.
This is my life. This is me. It's not.
Yeah. And now you can do that and see how much you love yourself too.
Yeah, and give yourself a big fat kiss.
Mm.
We talk about that all the time, don't we? So Gwen, at the end of the day, out of all of this, what would you say you're most passionate about?
Well, I as I've said a couple of times, I'm super a life that the clients that I help, a life that is happier than they ever imagined possible, because at the core and even underneath that.
Sorry, just repeat.
Okay. So I'm super passionate about helping the clients that I work with create a life where they're happier than they ever dreamed possible, especially after all the crap that they've been through, and find love again. And what's underneath that passion is a mission to bring more people to courage. And so I have a Courageous Clarity Project, and I actually have a whole year program, and I do it in 90-day blocks. And the final piece is for that year is the Courageous Clarity Project. Because if you look at the David Hawkins scale, which is an energetic scale of where we are, like if you're in apathy and shame, you're down in like 20 and 50. Shame is like 20, apathy is at 50, and it tests energetically at that point. Where courage is at 200, love is at 500, joy is even above that. I've seen both 540 and 600 for joy. Gratitude up, in the 800s. So if you're living, my mission is to bring up enough people, and it's a small number, to love or above, and that actually will bring up the entire planet to courage. And what can we do from courage rather than being in apathy and hate and shame? And so many people are ashamed that their marriage didn't work, or ashamed of maybe something that they did in the relationship that caused the breakup. And we can move on beyond those things and get you up into love and joy and gratitude. Gratitude's huge. That's another thing that you can do. You have gratitude every day. It's I'm a published gratitude author, and gratitude's changed my life many, many times for the better. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so and actually the number is under 10,000 to bring up the entire planet to courage.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, to bring 10,000 people up to love or above, to where they're vibrating at that, almost all the time. One, it improves their health. It'll improve the well-being of the planet. And so that's my mission underneath, helping people having a life happier than they ever imagined. Because if they're happier and they're vibrating at love or above, then, and up in joy and gratitude, then they're helping raise up the whole planet to courage.
And 10,000 is nothing.
10,000 is nothing. Exactly. It's just being able to maintain that, because we're human, and we have to feel everything that we feel. And instead of medicating it, and love and gratitude as fast as you can. And that's freedom.
Oh my Lord, absolutely. Let's get the movement to get to love or above. Let's get it going.
Yeah. Well, and there's somebody that already owns that. It's Christine Marie Shelton is Love or Above is her deal, and I got that from her, as also David Hawkins, and well, she got it out of from David Hawkins' works as well, Dr. David Hawkins, Power versus Force. But yeah, let's get everybody up to gratitude. Joy and gratitude. Yeah, love, joy, and gratitude, and yeah. So thank you.
This internet is cutting out a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. But we've already mentioned it. So how to get in contact with you? Best is via Facebook to under.
Yeah, just search me on Facebook, friend me. If you can send me a message, and I'll look to see if I have a message, and just say that you saw, put your name in the message, and then I'll know that. Or if you're friends, well, if they're friends with you, I'll go ahead and friend them.
Yeah.
So then I'll know that they came from you. So yeah. So you can just go on Facebook and look for Gwen Leopard, and you'll go ahead and tag me. So then they'll be able to find me. Yeah, friend me, and then you can follow me on the 365 days of how do I love myself today.
It's really inspiring seeing your posts every day, Gwen, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. You get on there, you've got your cheery, happy face, and no matter what adversity is going on or good stuff, whatever, you can always find something to love about yourself every day.
Yeah. I when I started, it's like I had a friend say I'd have to start repeating after the first week, and I'm like, and I'm sure that I've repeated, of course. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's good to sometimes, do the self-care, and but every day something new comes in. And
Absolutely.
Right now it's kittens. So.
So is that how you love yourself today, Gwen?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Well, and it was also that I connected with a friend yesterday I hadn't seen in 30 days, and with zero contact, and having the reflection that my capacity to receive is so much greater than it was 30 days ago.
Yeah.
That I was able to accept and receive love and attention and touch without feeling like I owed something to that person. I could just receive it, and out of that, actually, I was giving by allowing myself to receive. That my give to that person was actually receiving the gift of touch, and what he so was awesome to be able to realize how receptive, being in Australia and doing this how do I love myself every day has moved me. It's like, you're different. It's like, wow. Because that's, my goal is to, I don't know what my goal is when I started how do I love myself every day. It was just to love myself. And then the goal has evolved into the more people that love themselves on the planet, the better it's going to be. And if you really want to make a difference on the planet, I know that one of my things is I just want to make a difference. I want to make a difference in the lives I touch, and make a difference in the world. And the best way you can do that is by loving yourself. Just start at, the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson had that right. It's the woman in the mirror. It's who can we change? Ourselves. And people have said that, my face is different since I started, and my family started supporting me, just like,
whoa, that's huge.
Well, and my sister said, I've always supported you. It's like, yeah, but I'm getting an even deeper level of support. Like, you go, your mom's going to be okay. Mom's going to be okay. You go, we've got this. My mom said, don't let me stop you. You go. And I'm like, that was a lot. It was a lot to take. And I was having trouble receiving that, but by being able to receive from my friend, I now understand what's happened with my family and how they're able to support me on a deeper level. And so instead of freaking out about it, I'm now accepting it.
It's great. And you look so much lighter from when you arrived in Australia to when you left. Oh my Lord, so much freer. Like, absolutely amazing. It's beautiful.
I laughed more than I have in years, and I'm still laughing, although I've had some challenges here since I've gotten home. Yeah. And I received the generosity everyone showed me there was just so amazing. I just overwhelming. It was a lot. And I'm really glad that I was able to open myself up to receive that much.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Gwen, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Thank you.
Totally awesome. I want to spread the word. Let's get out of being stuck in unhappiness, and let's move ourselves to joy and happiness.
Well, yeah, and get out of being stuck in shame and apathy and fear and that rage of that, and blame.
Yeah.
Coming up out of that to courage and above, and to love and gratitude and joy. Absolutely, it's freedom. It's freedom. I mean, that's most people that come to me. What they want at the end of the day is they want freedom.
Yeah. Let's not sit there with 5-7 years. Let's just take it as quick as we can. Oh, there we go. Stuck again. Technology. Come back, Gwenny.
Yeah. So instead of 5 to 7 years, yeah, let's do it really quick. It's still a process. It still takes time.
All right, thanks again for joining us. It's been just awesome to chat to you, and let's spread the word, spread the love, and get people on board. Sign up with Gwen's program, because the quicker you do it, the quicker you can have a better quality life.
Oh, thank you.
All right, darling. We'll see you soon. Big kiss.
Yes. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.